elections ended.
I have no idea.
Did you?
To what extent can we actually draw conclusions at this early stage of the investigation? No, when you say you have no evidence, you have no evidence yet. I mean,
I'm telling you that because so if you guys have evidence, you can get it to us. We're conducting an investigation. We're looking for facts. We're looking for evidence. So believe me, if we could find evidence on any one of these folks in the administration, we'd love to have it if they were colluding with the Russian government, the Russian intelligence officials, I should say.
And you're looking at the same intelligence the Senate committee is looking at.
Well, I mean, it's possible they would have different. I mean, the evidence that we're looking at the agencies is all the same. Yes.
Chairman,
I doubt the FBI is briefing us differently than they'd be briefing the Senate.
Can you comment on the
extra characters that you're talking about that you've got?
Well, I mean, they brought up many characters today. I don't even know who those people are. They have no affiliation. When I say they, the Democrats brought up all these cast of names that I don't know who they are.
I mean, are you talking about Roger Stone here, Paul Manafort, who?
Yeah, I mean, Manafort I know because I know for a short time he worked on the convention, but I don't know the other people.
So you're saying that the rest of them are irrelevant to these?
I don't know if they are or not, but they're not in the administration. They don't work in the administration. And that's the major concern that I have right now, is people that are until this gets cleared up. I mean, we have this problem.
Congressman, some critics are saying that the Republicans on this committee cared more about the unmasking of Flynn's identity and incidental collection than the Russians hacking our democracy. What do you say to that balance that came out?
I say that there's been one crime that's been committed, and that is the leaking of someone's name. Everything else we're conducting oversight on. This committee and the Republicans, led by me, said a year ago that this was the largest intelligence failure since 9/11. So anything to the contrary of that is ridiculous. So I warned about it. I begged them to do something about it. The last administration, I begged the intelligence agencies to do something about it. They did nothing. So to sit here, yes, because it's a crime. Because it's a crime.
Mr. Chairman,
it's a crime that was committed.
Isn't the hacking of the DNC and the release of DNC emails and Podesta's emails also a crime?
It's a crime, but not one that we can.
Know that was committed.
But I think they can attribute that to a foreign power. That's what they said today.
Right. But that was a crime
we can't go arrest the
that
Russian
received
government.
relatively less attention from Republicans on the dais today than.
This is from earlier, and currently the chair of the Intelligence Committee is speaking outside in the hallway. Here are his remarks now.
We have no evidence of that, and I doubt that evidence exists. I mean, you had personal attacks on the Secretary of State. I mean, this is getting a little bit far-fetched here.
But I mean,
and this needs to be cleared up quickly.
This investigation was going on. This investigation was going on since July. Yet during the election, Comey revealed one investigation, the investigation into Hillary Clinton. Should he have acknowledged that James Comey, that Donald Trump also was under investigation?
Well, I think there was a question about the Gang of Eight, whether or not you saw that we may have to change Gang of Eight procedures. So that's what that's referring to.
So you weren't aware of this last year, and that President Trump and his associates?
No, I was not, but I do think I should have been. At least the Gang of Eight should have been.
When did you learn of it?
I didn't learn about it until I don't want to give you the exact date, but recently.
Do you see any reason to issue a subpoena at this point? Are you still considering a subpoena?
No, not yet. Let's see if they get the information to us by the end of the year.
That's the unmasking information that you're seeking?
Yeah, unmasking.
Are you pleased? Because we have heard many times Director Comey and Admiral Rogers say, I can't comment on this, I can't comment on this, and many people are waiting for this kind of answer. Are you pleased with that?
No, I don't. I mean, this is why this investigation is going to have to go quickly.
But that's what
I think this is very problematic moving forward. That you can't even say whether or not people in the White House or the administration are under some type of investigation. I think that's very problematic.
Director Comey said said it's possible the Russians could work to try to influence future elections. Is that something the American people
the Russians have always tried to influence our elections, and they will continue to as long as Vladimir Putin either decides to change his ways, which I doubt that he'll do, or he's out of office.
Mr. Chairman, do you think it's proper for an independent counsel to be called on to look into this now that the investigation has been publicly acknowledged?
I would have no evidence. What are they going to go look at? What's an independent counsel going to go look at?
To take over the investigation that Director Comey talked about
today. Take over his investigation?
The Justice
to take it away from the FBI? I don't know. I'd have to think about that.
Well, I mean,
I I mean, as long as they continue to, I mean, the FBI is an independent organization.
Yeah.
They should be suited to do this. If I sense any problems with the investigation, then I would recommend that. But I don't see that as of now.
But you
the
yourself
reason?
said
What was
that
the
there
reason?
were issues that you were upset and disappointed that there were some things he could
Well,
answer
I just
directly.
think that-
Why wouldn't an independent counsel?
Well, I don't think an independent counsel is not going to do anything any less than what Director Comey said today. Like I said, there's this. Until this gets cleared up, you guys are going to continue to have these questions, and I just don't have evidence of people within the White House or the administration that have any ties to Russian intelligence services of any kind, and that even hanging out there is bad for democracy, bad for America, and clearly it helps our adversaries, especially the Russians.
What was the reason why Director Comey told you why he didn't tell you last year that this investigation
I
was
don't know.
happening?
I'd like to know that. I'd like to know that answer myself.
When you say recently, I mean this is in the last couple of weeks you learned?
Yeah.
It was.
He said it was due to the sensitivity of the investigation. Do you accept that?
No, I don't. Yeah, no. I think there's no reason. And look, maybe I don't think there's any written rules on what the Congress should be informed of, and perhaps we're going to have to look into what those rules should be moving forward. Because had we known about this back in July, clearly we wouldn't be in this position today.
Do you need to hear from him in closed session again later this week? Or
Well, not this week, but we will continue to hear from him.
It sounds like you think
there
that
for
are
hours.
they
How are you
withholding?
leaving feeling? How are you leaving feeling today?
I feel just like when I walked in. We're trying to get facts.
But you seemed at the end of the hearing to suggest that they may be withholding, that the FBI may be withholding some evidence.
No, I don't
from
think
the
they're
committee.
I don't think they're withholding. I don't think they're withholding evidence as it relates to people in the White House.
You
and
said, yeah, you
administration.
said, will you turn over some evidence, whatever evidence you have? What did you mean by that?
Well, if they have it, I'd like to see it, but I don't think it exists.
Do you think that the
Anyway, anything else, guys? I gotta get going.
you.
now.
the public should have known about this investigation before they went to vote last year?
We won't know that until we get to the bottom of I mean, let them conduct the investigation. I think when that sees sunlight, I think it will be very helpful to everyone, including you guys.
And what about his hatred of the Patriots?
Yeah, well, that's another issue that I don't care about the Patriots or not, but I do think that metaphor is not accurate. I don't think just because you don't like a team and you root against that team every time, that means that you like that team. So that would mean that essentially that of the 16 games during the year, you have all sorts of different teams that's your favorite team that week, and I just don't understand that. I don't understand the logic of that, because I still think, as you heard today, there was no question. I think the Russians believed that Hillary Clinton was going to win, as did all of you here. All thought Hillary Clinton was going to win, and I think they were doing anything they could to hurt whoever they thought was going to win. It doesn't mean that they were trying to help the other candidate. And that's where I think there's a big discrepancy. And I don't know that we'll ever get to the bottom of that, because it's based on an individual's opinion. It's the opinion of analysts who look at this stuff. So I don't know who those analysts were exactly, and it's one of the things we're trying to figure out, who actually did the analytical work to make that change that occurred in January. All right, guys, thank you.
Okay. All right, bye-bye.